So obviously I'm not really a Q&A inside the bathroom kind of YouTuber, but there is construction going on everywhere right now, so I thought, let me just film. In today's video, I'm just gonna do a really quick Q&A. I asked you guys on Instagram if you've got any kind of questions, and obviously most of them were pharmacy related, so I'm just gonna quickly go through those now. Stay tuned to this video if you wanna find out how to interact better with me, or I'll just put it like the minutes here and you can skip straight to the end. And basically, I'm just gonna talk about how I'm trying to improve interactions and help pharmacy students and pharmacists or pre-regs or whatever. I have my laptop like balanced on a tap here, so that's why I keep looking down. LWRNCZNG asked, have you ever thought about practicing pharmacy overseas and where? Yes, I've definitely thought about practicing overseas. I wanted to move to Korea for a while and practice there, but the conversion exam is very difficult, I've heard, and I feel like I still have a lot to learn in the UK. So I'm just gonna carry on working here and see how that goes. Maybe in the future, but it will take me a while to actually gear up for the exam as well. That's the only issue. I've also thought about America because my best friend Miri lives in America and I've wanted to practice there. But again, that's also another complicated process. I think you've got to do a few years volunteering or like working as a tech and then doing some sort of exam as well. So, I mean, I've thought about it, but I've not actually actioned those thoughts, if you know what I'm saying. So I guess I'm just trying to find my feet in the UK first before I think about anywhere else. Nora Demina asked, do pharmacists take night shifts? Can you decide if you want to do night shifts? So this depends on the hospital. When you apply for the job, you'll be able to see what the hours are, whether it involves residency, and that would be, I think, a few days a week or on a rota basis. I'm not the expert on that because my hospital does not do that. We're pretty much normal hours, except we do late weeks, but there's no kind of staying overnight. We have on-call, but not residency. So I would check with the hospital what it involves. So I guess you can decide if you want to do night shifts because you can apply to a hospital that doesn't require that. I've heard mixed reviews about residency. Some people say it's amazing to work under pressure and also have to find all the answers and dispense, and like you've got like loads of bleeps and you're doing everything yourself. But I've also heard that it can be really mentally draining as well. So I'm kind of glad that I'm not doing it. Although I think that as a foundational pharmacist, like a junior pharmacist, it could be a good idea. So I've got mixed feelings about it, but currently the job that I'm in doesn't involve it, so I don't do night shifts. Miri says, how are you diligent and so on time? Well, I think I have my good days and my bad days. I try and be productive, but there are days when I'm not as well. Sometimes I'm just laying in bed, reading, or on TikTok, so it's not always good stuff. I do try and do something productive every day. And productive doesn't necessarily mean pharmacy related or studying. It could be reading, writing, painting, things like that. Or even just getting a massive grocery shop done. I do try and make use of my time, but like I said, I have my bad days as well. SB000 says, if not a pharmacist, what would you have been? And I have no idea. You know, I've always loved English literature, but with everything that I love, whether that's reading, writing, painting, whatever, I'm not some sort of expert at it. I'm just kind of average. So I don't know whether I'd be able to make any of that into a job. I think that I would have really enjoyed going into advertising, but also I don't agree with selling products that I don't believe in. So I don't know. At this point, like solicitor came into my head, which I feel like is quite rigid. And I think I would have been quite good at that kind of stuff. But I, at the moment, love pharmacy. I love my job. I love learning a lot. So I'm really happy right now. Alicia.xii asks, I've heard many things about hospital pharmacists not being able to have a life due to hours. Is this true? Again, this is kind of similar to the residency question. I don't do residency, so I've not had to balance that before. But in my current state, although we're full hours and sometimes I'm on late weeks as well, I still manage to have a life. I've never struggled with that. I think it's because I don't view seeing friends and a social life as work. I always see that as just letting go and like being stress-free. So I'm quite good at always having plans after work. I'm not the kind of person who's like, I'm too tired after work, I can't be bothered to do this, I can't be bothered to go there. I just go out and have a life. So I just think it's important that you have a life outside of work, because you can always kind of tell if work is everything to you, then you start getting stressed, or you can take it like your stress out on people at work. Whereas I feel like if you know you've got a life outside of work, then you end up not being so consumed in it, if if you want to have a life and make yourself busy and go out there and see people, then it's possible. Shanita asks, do you have any advice for current pre-regs in the current situation? I mean, I know that it's absolutely shit, really. It's very disheartening, especially during this whole crisis. I think the exam's now delayed to January, so some people I know have actually used this time and then they're studying. Some people I know have just stopped studying because the exam's not anytime soon. I personally probably would have stopped studying, but I do think it's a good time to work on your applications or kind of organise what you've done so far so that when you come to writing your applications for jobs, it's already there. I can't tell you to study because I don't think I would have done that myself, but I can tell you to start writing your applications, thinking about where you want to apply, what you want to do. Do you want to go into community? Do you want to go into hospital, industry, whatever? You're never going to get this time back, so utilise it and think about which career path you want pharmacy to take you. I'd say that would be my recommendation. Also, know that it's not going to be forever. I know that you feel like, oh my god, some of you are like, I hate pre-reg, how long is this going to last? But it's not going to last forever. Mardia asks, what experiences have you gained working in hospital? I would say, I mean, so many experiences working in an acute hospital, but I just learn every day, and the ability to ask for help. So there's always staff available to help. There's always clinical knowledge that you can keep recapping, keep learning, communication with other healthcare professionals. So that's what I'd say, what experiences I've learned. Clinical knowledge, asking for help, and getting to know the healthcare professionals. Mission03 said, around when did you start job hunting while pre-reg and how actually did you do it? Through what website, etc.? I use NHS jobs, some people use track jobs, I think pretty much it ends up being the same thing. And I applied around February time, so that's about 5 months before the pre-reg exam. And I kind of only did that at the time because it was killing two birds with one stone. When I got interviews, I would revise clinically, and that ended up helping me for the exam. I would say, why not just get your application ready, start applying for any jobs, and go for it, because most of the interviews this year are actually on Zoom as well. So it's not like you're wasting time by traveling there and stuff. And then they'll probably send you drug charts via email or whatever, which means that you'll have a copy of it. So I don't think there's anything to lose by applying and doing your application stuff this time around. You're not wasting time, money, you're revising for the exam, which will eventually be next year. Also, I feel like it will be less embarrassing on Zoom if you're shit at the answers. I personally would have found it less embarrassing, I think, but I don't know. I haven't had a Zoom interview, so. Maria asks, what is your favourite drug? My favourite drug is cocaine. No, I'm joking. You know what, I know this is really boring, but my favourite actual drug in real life is just paracetamol. Like, I feel that it's just my thing. Like, it works for everything. Headache, paracetamol. Period pain, paracetamol. Feeling hot and flustered and feeling like I can't control my temperature, paracetamol. Even 500 milligrams just works for me. So yeah, I know it's really boring, but paracetamol is my favourite drug. Also, hi Maria, and to your family as well. I hope all of your sisters are okay. I miss you. Latte05 asks, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years in terms of career? So I want to finish my diploma and hopefully move up to a band 7, but I'll only go for a 7 when I'm confident enough that I have enough clinical knowledge. Going for a 7 right now is not really my priority. For me at the moment, it is just filling this brain because I feel very behind clinically. So I do want to improve, and I'm not insanely ambitious. I'm not like, oh my gosh, I want to get to an 8 by this age and whatever. I'm more ambitious in terms of my personal life. Like, I do want to make sure that I'm ready to have a family and stuff. But yeah, let's not talk about that. Latte05 also asked, can you suggest alternative options for a person with a pharmacy degree? Literally anything. Like, I know pharmacist friends who have done the pre-reg exam and they have gone into Microsoft, they have gone into industry, they've gone into DJing, so literally anything. You don't have to stick to pharmacy. If you do want to stick to pharmacy, I guess you can go into research, you can go into education. I'd say the degree itself is quite well recognised, so I wouldn't be too concerned if you didn't pass the pre-reg. I would just say, go for other jobs. See what you actually want to do. If you want to stick to the pharmacy lane, stick to the pharmacy lane. If you want to do something totally different, a lot of people are doing something different. Also, I know people who have worked as pharmacists for years and are now completely leaving and working in the music industry. So, Paul asks, I'm starting hospital pre-reg in August. Any advice on how to prepare for it? No, I would just say, just turn up, be on time, be enthusiastic, enjoy it. I don't think there's any way to prepare for it other than just walking into it with your eyes wide open, arms wide open, whatever. Just be welcome to it, you know. I think it is going to be a good and exciting year. It's when you actually see your degree put into practice. I don't really think preparation is required. I would say just keep on top of it. If you've got evidences, write them up as you go and all of that. Carrot Cakers says, stay healthy. I hope you stay healthy too, and I miss you, and I'm totally going to go and visit you in Bulgaria when this is over. Love Julia says, how do you deal with study stress and manage your time efficiently? By the way, I love your videos. Thank you so much. Well, I don't really feel like I'm the best person to advise on this. At university, I really struggled with time management. I would do no work all year, then cry my eyes out in the library before exams. But I guess now, in terms of working and doing the diploma, some of my friends at work, they will do the diploma bit by bit during lunchtime, but I'm not really like a bit by bit person. I'm kind of an all or nothing girl. So when I decide to do stuff for my diploma, I will book out a whole weekend and just be like, that weekend is diploma weekend. So I'm not saying either way is right, but it just depends on your technique and what you feel comfortable with. The only advice I can say is obviously don't leave everything last minute, because we all know where that goes. In terms of exam stress though, for like university, I would recommend if possible for you to go home, because going home for me always helped. Just having my mum there, just, you know, eating home food, not getting all carried away in my own thoughts was the best thing for me during exam time. Shilpaj98 says, what do you love the most about hospital pharmacy? Also, what does a typical day consist of? Well, a typical day consists of this link here to my video. And what do I love the most? I love everything about hospital pharmacy. I'm never bored. I learn something new every day. It's challenging. It's just the right amount of challenging. So I don't feel, well, I do feel incompetent, but I don't feel totally out of depth, but I'm also learning stuff and I'm also needing help, but I'm also able to help as well. So it's just that perfect balance. I love that you get to work with other healthcare professionals. I love you get to see the patient and you get to actually make a difference in the patient's care. I love that you come across diseases that you've never even heard of. I love that you're constantly just exposed to new things and you're constantly learning. I mean, what kind of job offers that, right? I love it. I'm very happy and I'm very lucky. So I've asked you to stick to the end because I wanted to talk about this investment that I made, and this is just a Galaxy tablet. And I decided that I wanted to use it for work. I've got all of my work apps on here. There is no Netflix, no Instagram, no TikTok, nothing. So I'm basically using this just for pharmacy and work purposes. And they gave me a free SIM as well. So I've got a number on this, and I decided that it might be a good idea to interact more with pharmacy students and pharmacy related people on this channel. I've been doing free phone consultations with some of my viewers. I've just been giving them a call when they've asked for help or they've got specific questions. Like I said, I'm not some sort of pharmacy expert, but I can tell you what I think, and the people that I've spoken to have said that it really helped. And I also think it could be a good way to connect you guys, because a lot of you are applying for hospital pharmacy at the moment, and there's so many repeated questions about interviews and stuff. Like I said, I'm not a senior pharmacist, but I can kind of guide you in the direction that I would take if I were you. So if you would like a phone call or you need to chat or ask any questions, then let me know. I'm thinking maybe of opening like WhatsApp on here and then talking to you guys through that and connecting you guys if I feel like you've got from a similar background. So yeah, maybe if you want to chat, then let me know. And I'll give you my number, this number, and we can go from there. So hopefully that will help. And also when you message me, just message me your name, what stage you're at in terms of pharmacy and what you want help with, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this short Q&A, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!